I make movies.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of movies?
I make motion pictures. Space movies. Do you like space?
Welcome once again to What Do We Know podcast. I am Casual.
I'm Cory Moe.
And today we usually we have a little session where we go over what happened this week. We talk about what Trump did messed up and what all he's done. There are migrants trying to get to the country right now. We're not going to get into all that. I was in a seminar, a couple of seminars over the past couple of weeks.
Spell seminar.
I was in a seminar past couple of weeks, a couple of seminars, and can I call you an instructor? The orator? What the facilitator?
The one. That's what you're
Boy, using all these TI words over there.
the host of the seminars. I stopped at the end. I was familiar with us, not like I walked up to a total stranger, but I walked up to her and said, "Hey, we got a little podcast that we do on Sundays. I'd like for you to come in and share some of this information." And Cory, you want to introduce her to everybody?
This is my dog, my homegirl. You know what I'm saying? We know what's stuff from the streets and all this playing. But well, we got Miss Carla Boston in the building right now.
Yep.
Wait, married woman now.
Carla Carter now.
Carla Carter.
What?
Carter.
I did not. Oh, you said husband.
I said husband.
Oh, let me shake hand again. Okay, I didn't. Okay, cool. All right.
It's okay.
That's what's happening. All right, Miss Carter.
Mrs. Carter.
Not Beyonce, but
This is Meridian's Mrs. Carter.
Meridian.
I know you are owner and operator of
TBA,
TBA.
which stands for The Boston Agency.
Okay.
Go late. Okay. Can you give me a little information, like just in case anybody want to,
Let's see, what all do we do? We have a travel agency, tax preparation, business accounting, payroll, bookkeeping, car lot, credit repair. I think the only thing I don't do is swim and sleep.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. How about we start this over? Say what you don't do.
Right. Pretty much everything. Anything that can help people make money, basically.
Okay, cool. So let's do a little, like I said, we're going to do a little background facilitating this type of thing.
Right. Okay, so when I was in the 4th grade, right, we're going to go all the way back.
Yeah, we'll go. Hey, let's do it. We got all the time.
I'm speed up real quick when I get to 4th grade. 4th grade, my daddy asked me, how parents ask you, what you want to be when you grow up? I said, I'm a superhero. Chest out, everything. He was like, for real, what you want to be? Now I'm stumped like, I don't know. And so he's like, what are you good at? I said, I'm good at math and I can draw real well. So he said, you need to be an accountant or an engineer. Well, I thought engineers drove trains and I didn't want to down the train. So I said, I'm going to be an accountant. Didn't know even what I was. So from 4th grade on up, I said I was going to be an accountant. And so I stuck with it, took it in high school, kind of, did my way through. And I was only going to do business taxes was what I was going to do initially. And then I started doing individual, helping other people like us get more money back. And then it just kind of stuck, and I kind of just went from there. And then when I would see people, get the big tax check and then use all of it to get a car and then lose it in 6 months because their credit messed up.
That happens.
I was like, well, dang, I'm going to start fixing their credit then. So I started fixing my clients' credit for free. And then other people wanted their credit fixed. And I was like, well, I'm going to go broke doing this. I got to charge somebody something. So that's how the credit repair business came up. Okay. So then the next year, they would get better interest rates. Then they would get beat out because they were getting overcharged for the cars during tax season. Everything go up during tax season. And so then I was like, well, screw it then. I don't know if I can say screw it or not, but I just said it. So I said, screw it then. Yeah. I'm going to get a car lot. My little dumb tail didn't know what it took to get a car lot. Had I known, I probably wouldn't have did it, but thank goodness I didn't know. And then so I was doing that just to help my clients get cars and not get beat out. And then so word got around that I was helping people get cars at like little of nothing. One guy, he got a 0506 Ford F-150. And the retail on it was like $10,500. I gave it to him for $4,500.
Wow.
And still made a little bit of money off of it.
Wow.
The markup is real, right? So when people heard about it, then other people wanted cars too that I didn't do their taxes yet. So I was like, well, dang. All right, then I got to get some more cars and help some more people in. And so that's how the car lot came about. And then, just kind of every business I've ever started, it was always to try to help one or two people.
Out
and it just kind of, That's why the slogan for TBA is I'm here to help, because everything I do is to help somebody.
That's
You know, some people think it's like about the money, but it's never about the money. But it's never about the money with me. It's always to help people. If I help people, I'm gonna get money anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's pretty much what I do.
That's probably the greatest reward is you just get bigger and better what you're doing.
Yep.
So you said the market was it's like they normally say what 3 times the
It's
purchase price.
It's unreal. I had one client. He was going to 2015 Tahoe. This was back in 16. Everywhere he went was like 55,000, 48,000. It was unreal, right? I fully loaded, and then gave it to him for 39,000.
Wow.
And I still made a little bit of money off of it. But it was supposed to be 58,000. I'm talking about the markup 1,000. I'm talking about the markup is unreal. Do you know from that point on, I'm not gonna say any names, but everybody except for Bo Harala around here came to my car lot trying to start mess.
Really?
Demanding to see the license and all kind of stuff. I wouldn't there when it happened because Carla Boston would have came back and it would have been something else. But yeah, they were
should have gave him a couple bars.
Kind of pro bars. Anyway. But because my goal at that point was either y'all gonna drop them prices, y'all gonna have to shut down. That was my goal. In 5 years, either y'all gonna drop them prices in Meridian, or y'all gonna have to shut down.
Yeah, I've always heard that Meridian like is the worst place to buy a car. Like that's why other people go like Jackson or go to Birmingham or Alabama. You know, somewhere in Alabama to get cars because they can find a better car. I mean, same car for a better rate.
Yep, it's crazy.
That's interesting.
But I can get any car for anybody, so that's what I was doing. Like, you know, I'm not gonna have a whole bunch of expensive cars on the lot if nobody's gonna buy it because I ain't gonna go broke. But you know, people like the guy who went to Tahoe, whatever. If they want it, I go find it and sell it to them for a little nothing. I ain't gotta make a whole bunch of money. I can make a little bit of money off a whole bunch of people and be cool.
You have to have like a dealership license to get to these cars and do things like that. That's why they can tax it like that. Okay. So that's one facet of TBA. You got credit repair. We got, hold on. First of all, you got you file people's taxes. You have credit repair. You have the car, the auto dealership, and what else? A number of 1,000 things.
Business consulting. Okay. Bookkeeping, payroll.
Okay, business consulting. What exactly do you do within the business?
Oh, well, that I help people start their business from the ground up. I go in once I help them get started. I give them a couple months, like Charlie's Market, for example. They're one of my clients. They just opened September 29th. In the next couple of months, maybe, I go in and I analyze their books and see, you know, where there's room to make more profit, and then I change prices. And then I change, you know, make a couple suggestions. I have another client that, really good family, never owned their own business in their life. They started at Eskimo Hut in Corpus Christi, and then on the business consulting side of it, I do their taxes too. But they flew my husband and I out to Corpus Christi to just kind of give an overview of what I saw. I went in. It may have taken me 30, maybe 45 minutes to look at everything. I made some changes. Within 30 days, they doubled their profit.
Wow.
And so
you just see where they're losing or where they're strongest, and then just like lower this and increase this.
Just look for opportunities to, you know, make different changes, whatever minor changes though. You know, you don't have to change payroll and not give people hours, but move them around where they're gonna be profitable. You know, just stuff like that. So from the ground up, and even on marketing, just kind of the overall business thing on that side of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Everything.
Then, okay. Let's see now. Let's say that was business consultant. Okay. What was the next one?
Bookkeeping and payroll.
Okay.
Bookkeeping. And so for businesses, I do that. Because if you own a business, the quickest way to go to jail is not have your books and records in order. Because if they come knocking on the door and ask you for your books and records, if you do not have it, you're going to jail. So
and lose everything.
Everything. Yeah.
I've never been to jail, but from the movies, it seems like it sucks. So I think keeping the books will be alright. It will be a good thing to do.
I just don't have time.
It seems like it sucks. It's all dudes.
I don't think
it's like college without the girls. That's
kind of like
roommates and all that.
I'm good.
Child time.
Jail. They don't paint a pretty picture of jail on TV.
I don't think they do that for a reason.
Okay.
Yeah, me neither.
And you also do travel agency, right?
Travel agency as well. Yep. That was like the first business I started years ago in 2007, I think. I've been doing that since 2007. So yeah.
How is the travel agency business? Because like it's so many different ways to find the things like online. Like just go through Travelocity or one of these different little. How is it different going through you as far as going to someone like that right there?
Because it's actually the same thing. So that with me having my own travel agency website, the same thing as Expedia, Travelocity, all those things. same prices, same everything, except for you know me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You get the same
Gotcha.
price going through me than you go through somebody else, so might as well
Gotcha.
go through me.
Gotcha.
Because the way it works, for example, if you go to Expedia and you book, say, a room at the Hilton Hotel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Hilton Hotel is going to pay Expedia a commission,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if you book it through my website, they're going to pay me the same commission.
Okay.
And so if you know me, might as well go through my website then.
And you can just, like, same way you use Travelocity, and you can go
Just
to your
go to the
website, same
website.
way. Okay, cool. We have to put that up in the link in the bio when we get that right. Okay,
Yeah,
I know that.
but most people, the way I do make money, most people are lazy and they don't want to look for it. And sometimes, honestly, sometimes being a travel agent, you know more places that are actually, you know, better for people to go to and cheaper and da-da-da.
You know exactly what,
Yeah,
you're
because I
gonna
travel a
fit
lot,
you. Yeah.
right? Because certain
Yeah.
places will actually pay me to come visit their resorts and stuff like that because I'm a travel agent, or they'll let us come for free or get discounts and stuff like that. Where did we go? I think we were in Orlando. Oh yeah, the Omni Resort. We had already got a discounted rate through this group thing, right? For I think it was like $100 and maybe $39 a night, something like that. But me using my travel agent ID, I was able to give like $79 a night.
Whoa.
And so I can actually book stuff at a lot lesser rate and then charge people a little bit more, but they still get it less with me than somewhere else.
So, like,
Depends.
how do you compete with, like the, let's say, like an Airbnb or something like that? You still have those type of, okay. All right, cool. I'm going to have to plug in with you on that. You know,
Absolutely.
I think we paid about $2,500 for a week through Airbnb in California. Yeah. That's about what, so it's like you get the same thing basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, it's good to know. Let me put that in my
Yeah.
phone.
Even with cruises, a lot of people take
What's the,
cruises not
website?
knowing. It's cbostontravel.com
cbostontravel.com.
or tbatravel.com, either one. It'll take to the same site.
Okay.
tbatravelgroup.com.
I'll make sure I put that in the website.
Now, in the midst of this interview, you getting your hookup.
He doing it right
taking
now.
your notes.
He
You
just
gotta
gonna-
get it when you can,
he
my
just
brother.
gonna
I know what
stop
you're
in the
talking
middle of
about.
the interview and
Yeah,
start putting it in his
Hold on right
Let me
quick.
get that in
This
there.
for me.
cbostontravel.com to put that in there. All right. So
Have
make sure I
mercy.
got that text. Hold it.
But,
That's for the
yeah.
purpose of the interview, though. You're not gonna put that in the link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like it ain't like I can write it down. It's all good though. Take a pause when you take a pause. Pause for the call.
Now, one of the main reasons I wanted you to come here is because you were talking about the new tax laws.
Ooh-wee.
Bunch of different tax laws, a bunch of different things that are going to affect our people. I mean, it's going to affect everybody, but
Everybody.
mainly the way we do our taxes.
Yeah.
Can you just get into some of the changes that's going to take place that
Yeah.
have been put in place right now?
Yeah. All right. So, try to do this without having to be edited.
Go ahead, let it fly. Let it ride.
One of the main things that I saw, and I was real emotional about it for a long time when I first saw it in July. I'm not gonna him or her that actually put these things in place. Him or her that has the orange hair. They're actually been setting it up for them to actually have the breaks, and then we pay for it. Basically, the changes have been. These are the most changes that's ever come across since 1986. Period. In the last 31 years, these are the most significant changes in 31 years. Period.
Who was
Hands
the
down.
president? Who was the president then?
Not sure.
What administration was it now?
I cannot remember. 31 years ago, I'm not sure.
Interesting to look up.
That would be good. Yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. Anyway, so some of the main things that have been changed, the good things that they were talking about as far as you're going to get more back on your check and you're going to get bigger tax checks. How is that possible? That don't even make sense. It's impossible to get more on your check and more back on your taxes. That's impossible. We'll go broke doing that. And so he wasn't talking to us when he was saying those things. He was actually talking to
The
them.
1% or
Them. So, for example, the average working person, say for instance, you got a single man or woman that doesn't have any dependents, right? Say they make $50,000 a year. Standard deduction, which people don't know what that means, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Standardized deduction is $6,350 right now. They have expenses with work, like maybe uniforms and union dues, and traveling expenses for work, stuff like that they can normally write off. Mortgage interest and property taxes. They buy a car, that car tag, the car insurance, stuff like that, which would exceed $6,350. So that will help them get more back on their taxes. And state, the standardized deduction is on $2,300, and so you get more back on your state check. Well, they've actually taken away all job-related expenses now. So you can't write anything off. Like my traveling nurses that have expenses when they travel, no moving expenses, you can't do that anymore. The contractors that travel and stuff like that, they can't write those things off anymore either.
So plane tickets, things like that nature, like you got to travel somewhere, you can't write that.
You cannot write it off anymore. Whether your job pays you, if your job don't pay you for it, you just SOL, you lose it. And so they raised standardized deductions as if that's going to help. But what they've done is actually put you in a box. And we did the example at the workshop. Say, for instance, this man and woman that I'm talking about, under the old tax law, if they could have written off their job-related expenses and things like that, that could have helped them get back anywhere between $1,100 to $1,500 back on their taxes, right? Them taking it away and raising standardized deduction, it would only allow them to get back maybe an extra $200, as opposed to $1,100 to $1,500. And so it makes a big difference. But on paper, though, it looks really good. Like, oh, they raised it to $12,000. That is awesome. And it's not awesome like they're saying it's awesome. They're not going to even give back more money per child, but they're actually setting us up to take away earned income credit. They're not going to take away this year. But it's coming, though. I see it coming. But one of the really good things that they did put in place, which was awesome to me, is that if you put money in a trust fund for your child up to $18 million, they don't have to write taxes. They don't have to pay taxes on that money. That's awesome.
So you have, so you can just create.
Who, Cory? Tell me who, Cory.
I'm speaking the perspective of somebody over $100 million.
Who has that type of money in our community?
Kids, they can take $18 million and put it on each one of them kids and not pay taxes.
And not pay taxes on it. Who, Cory? Who is that going to help?
Wow, that's crazy.
Is that going to help us, Orange Man? Who is it going to help?
Wow.
Edit that out.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
We're not
who is that going to help? That's another big change, right?
Yeah.
Another one, if you purchase a home for up to $750,000, you can now write the interest off on that home. Who in our community has a $750,000 house, Cory? How is that going to help me? But if that's the case, if they're getting that break, who's going to have to pay for it, though?
Yeah.
And the money's coming from us. We have to pay for that now.
Wow.
And then another thing, like, for instance, with the earning credit going away soon, the average, I'm going to say a woman, because most of the time this is what I see. So you have a woman that has 2 children, she makes $18,000 a year and doesn't pay any federal taxes in whatsoever because she can't afford to. $18,000 a year ain't much at all. That's less than $2,000 a month with 2 children. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But with her getting earned income credit and child tax credit, her average refund in 2017 would have been roughly between $8,500 to $9,000, which is pretty good. That means for the year
I mean, 19 plus that would have been a good lump sum.
And so then that means she can kind of survive off of that for a whole year. Mm-hmm. They take earned income credit away, even though they increase the child tax credit, she would only get back roughly about $4,000 as opposed to $8,500 to $9,000.
So you basically chopped it in half.
Big difference. Huge difference.
See, but what's crazy? See, what do we account for? 13% of the country? Is that accurate?
I'm not sure.
13%. That's gonna hurt us, but you gotta look at.
It's gonna hurt everybody.
It's gonna hurt everybody.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's just not us. Like that's hurts. Like
yep.
They might not just be as vocal about it as we are, but
that's because they don't know.
Yeah.
They're believing the hype.
Yeah.
It's tax preparers that think it's gonna get better too. I talked to some of them, a couple of them in Florida, whatever. I was upset, man. I really could not talk about it for 3 days without crying. And I was talking to this other tax professional in Florida, and he was like, yeah, it's gonna our people gonna get more checks back, more than a check. And I was like, wait, who are you talking about? What people are you talking about? Who taxes do you do? What are you talking about? And then so it's like, yeah, they're raising standardized deduction. And from him talking, I could tell he didn't know what he was talking about. He didn't do the numbers. He just had no clue what he was talking about.
He was reading the paperwork. Basically.
He was just saying what they were saying. Yeah. He was just repeating what he's heard.
Yeah.
And I broke it down to him. He was like,
you get that a lot though with this culture we live in.
All the time. And so then when I explained it to him, he was like, oh man. And then he wants me to look at his taxes for him now. Like, you do taxes? What you mean? But I don't, whatever. But it's a big difference. And another thing too, in our community, I'm just gonna go on and say it. You know how you have some parents that have children that have not worked a regular W-2 job all year, but you have to have income to get a tax check. So then they would come in to the office and say, hey, well, I did hair from home, or I babysat from home, and I did this for this much money, and blah blah blah. without really much proof at all. Then they bring receipts in and stuff like that because I have to have receipts, proof. They won't be able to do that this year without having the actual business
W-2?
EIN number.
Oh, yeah.
They have to have an
Yeah.
EIN number and proof that they have a real business, and they have to have a business account. They don't know that they have to do that, though. Nobody's telling them they have to do that. So when they try,
for those who don't know, what is an EIN?
it's an employee identification number that you have to have set up to say that you have a business. Say, for instance, if you do keep kids from home or you do hair from home, you need to call it Homegirl Hair Shop and get an EIN number with your address on it.
And now it's a legitimate business.
It's a legitimate business
that
now.
you can write
And
taxes off
also
of.
take that same EIN number and set up a bank account, a business bank account, because they ask you if prove your bank account, and start making deposits in it. For one, the reason why they're trying to stop that anyway is because they feel like they're losing so much money. They know the people that actually do that are the lower income people, the ones that they're having to give Medicaid to and food stamps and stuff like that to. They're already trying to take that away, but if they take that away, then they have to go to work. But then they're not going to pay them enough money. They're hurting our people is what they're trying to do, but they're not telling them what they have to do to get around these things.
Just
because
wait till they get that penalized.
pretty much, because this is my thing. It's our fault sometimes because we don't do things the right way. We don't think about it. Because if I say that I got 3 kids, I'm not working a regular job, and I turn into the system that I make $0 so I can get a lot of food stamps and assistance, I can't turn around and then say I made $10,000 doing hair from home just to get a tax check too. One is not adding up.
I need some numbers somewhere.
Because you're reporting all this to the government. You're telling them, hey, I make $0 so you can give me this money for benefits, but then I'm telling you I made $10,000 so you can give me a tax check. It's not adding up, sis. Come on now, do something else. And so my suggestion would be, if it were me, I'm not going to say my suggestion because I can't suggest anything. If it was me, right, and I knew the laws and I knew that I have to do certain things to be able to get a tax check, but then also I have to do it the right way, it's going to all have to add up, I would look at the maximum amount that I'm supposed to make to be in the lower bracket, which is $9,525. I would go to the food stamp office and say, hey, I do work from home. I don't have a regular job, but I do make some income every now and then. And for the year, I'm probably going to make $9,000 for the year. I'm going to still get assistance. I'm going to still get food stamps. I'm going to still get all those things. But then I can also file taxes at the end of the year and still get a refund, and everything matches up across the board.
Right. And it's all legit.
You
don't have to worry about those letters coming in the mail. You don't have to worry about...
Documentation beats conversation all day long. If you don't have it documented, they don't care what you're saying. And so we got to do better, man. We just got to. We do. It's gonna hurt a lot of people unless they make the changes before the end of the year. They don't have. That's why I was having the workshops or whatever, because ain't nobody else gonna tell us.
Right.
I pay a lot of money to get the information, but then I give it away because I know we need help. Because the biggest thing that I ran into when I was growing up, Margaret used to do everybody's taxes pretty much. She was like the hood hero, the tax hero. Which I'm a tax hero now. I guess I told my dad to write. I want to be a superhero. But anyway, but when she died, though, nobody knew what Margaret knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was the next year after she passed away, I went to get my taxes done in her spot, whatever. Her daughter tried to do my taxes, bless her heart. That was the lowest refund I ever got back in my life. Wow. I said, love you, but you'll never touch my taxes again. That ain't going to work. And so then I felt like once I started doing it, I didn't want the same thing to happen because everybody got the 2 things that are definite: taxes and death. Gotta pay taxes, you're gonna die. And so I didn't want to do that to our community again, to where, whenever something does happen to me, nobody knows what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I have the workshops. I don't have to do your taxes, but you need the information though. And that way you can take your taxes to somewhere else or try to. You're not gonna be able to do them yourself this year, but anyway. Man, they are making it really hard. For most people that do them themselves, they'll see this year. And they're doing it on purpose because they're trying to stop people from using TurboTax, because that's where most of the fraud is happening at. Because there's nobody regulating whether you put this dependent on your taxes, that's right or wrong or not. You don't have any regulation on that. So they're making it harder for people to do them taxes themselves. They're making it harder for tax preparers to do it if you don't know what you're doing. The regular 1041 and 2 that we used to have, they've actually added 6 new schedules just to those 2 forms alone, not to mention the other forms you have to file for taxes too. And so if you don't know what each schedule is supposed to be and what's supposed to be on them, you're not going to probably file your taxes right. I get why they're doing it. They're trying to protect their money. They've lost billions of dollars each year with fraudulent stuff. So I saw where, oh my goodness, you probably have to edit a lot of this. I remember when Obama first got in office, and then he did the American Opportunity Credit, to where you know when you go to school, you get a credit. It was $1,000 credit. If you go to school and you put it on your tax, you get an extra $1,000 for it, right? And the first year it was fine, because everybody, you know, a lot of black people were doing what Obama said. They went to school and they was getting $1,000 credit, right? Well, the very next year, the IRS tried to block that and said that anybody that had that college credit on their taxes that couldn't get a check until March instead of January like it normally was, right? It was only targeting a certain group of people, because most people that file early in January are our people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people wait till February, March to get the crowd out the way anyway. So they were trying to discourage our people from filing early, and they were wanting them to be mad at Obama. That didn't work. They still would not. They were mad at him yet, evidently, because they voted him in again, right? Next term, he did the Obamacare, right? Everybody get the Obamacare. You could even get a tax credit for the Obamacare, right? The first year, everything went through smooth. The very next year, they required for people to have a 1095-A reporting it on their taxes. Now, let me try to make this make sense. The insurance companies have to report to the IRS how much you paid in Obamacare. They already have the numbers already. But now they're saying that they want you to have the numbers and put them on your taxes. Even though we already got them, we want you to put it on your taxes. If you don't, we're going to hold your refund until you do. But they weren't even sending those forms out until February to stop people from filing in.
Filing early.
And what happened was, and they didn't tell people they had to do it. So when you file your taxes in January and you didn't have that form on it, it held your taxes up for at least 9 weeks.
Let me ask you a question. I know somebody. I think this is what they went through. He worked. He took care of his dad. His dad was on disability. He took care of his dad. His daddy was on. I think he had the Affordable Care Act. And when he filed them, they were gonna take, like, if he didn't get it back, he still was trying, like, even I think over the last like month or two, he's still trying to get his money back. But they was gonna take his refund and make him pay $800.
Yep.
Is that something that's got to do with that right there?
Yep. And so what that did when that happened, that year that happened, and they start telling people, well, it's because you got Obamacare. And so it started making people, I even got Obamacare. So it started making people talk bad about having Obamacare. There's nothing wrong with Obamacare.
It's the way they're handling the
The problem was they didn't tell you that that's what you needed to do your taxes, to file your taxes, which you really don't have to have that form, because they already have the form. They already have the information already. They just want you to have it so to match up in their system for whatever reason, which is some bull crap. They were just doing it to try to block what was going on. And they do it every year. It's always some reason why they delay taxes or they stop paying. Even this year, there were so many letters that came through that tell people, hey, we're holding your refund. Yeah. And you don't have to do anything right now. You're not being investigated or nothing. We're just going to hold your refund and we'll let you know in 60 days. You just now if I don't pay you in 60 days, I'm gonna get penalized and have to pay late fees. You gonna pay me a late fee? Of course not. And so it's been a mess, man. They're targeting the group that files early, and the group that files early are the lower income people, because they really need their money,
right?
And they get the most money back because they are in the lower income, the lower income bracket, and so they actually get more tax breaks normally, but they won't coming up.
It's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy that you talk, because, like, I know somebody right now. She worked for the Mississippi State. She worked for like 5 years, and she's seen how they went after people. Yep. And the way they
Department
did
of Revenue.
It. Yeah. And she said, like, it can be somebody worth $10 million and owe taxes. They wouldn't mess with them.
Don't touch them.
They won't touch them. But if you got a small business and you probably worth like $120,000 driving trucks. Yep. If you owe something and you want to probably do it, they will go after you with everything. Yep. And she said that's why she stopped working. She opened her own service because she wanted to give back. Because she said she's seen it happen to so many people. She said there's one guy he worked for himself for 30 years, and he had like I forgot what kind of service it was, but he didn't pay some type of fee, something for the whole time. Yeah. and she picked his name and they don't give him a name. They pick where they want to go out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I can tell you stories about that. Go
She
ahead.
said she picked this guy. He comes in there. He's like 75. He has some type of like deadly cancer. He fighting. The only thing they got is their house. Him and his wife. His wife is like 70 something. She's still working to just make do.
Right.
And they go and tell this guy he got to pay $40,000
Yep.
to them, and within 2 years, are they gonna take everything? So they had to go sell their house. 70 years old, fighting cancer, and then the IRS come knocking at your door.
Yeah, that was the Department of Revenue, not the
Yeah,
IRS.
yeah,
It's two
well, yeah,
different
Department of
two
Revenue,
different
yeah,
entities.
yeah.
There's something else. Now I'm gonna tell you, this is what the IRS started doing. Now, and I get it. I see both sides of it. I understand both sides of it. I really do, because people that do work. Say for instance, you got somebody making $60,000 a year, paid $7,000 in on federal taxes, but then they still have to pay a little bit more taxes in, or they only get like maybe $800 back in their taxes. That's not fair.
No.
And then you have somebody that maybe make $18,000 that year, got 2 kids, and didn't pay anything in taxes, but they getting $8,000 back. That's not fair. And they getting benefits and everything. So I get both sides of it. I really do. But what the IRS started doing, because what they used to do, they would put dependents on their taxes or whatever. They weren't really their dependent. Knowing good and well, they shouldn't claim they're dependent. But then the IRS would pay them money, but then they'll audit them later because it goes through a system, and the system would, check the names and all that kind of stuff like that. They would get audited later and say, hey, prove that this is your dependent, or you're going to have to pay us the money back. Well, they just not going to pay the money back. You're going to take me to jail. I ain't got it. I ain't got the money. What you going to do? I ain't got no property because I don't own nothing.
Right.
I ain't got no banking account because I ain't got no job. So how you going to get your money back? And so they would lose money like that. And so what they started doing now, they will audit you before they send the money. So that's why a lot of people got letters this year, right, from the IRS. IRS is federal. Department of Revenue is state. And so the IRS, what they started doing, they up their system. And so, like, say for instance, I'm John Doe, and I got Poo Poo Jenkins on my taxes. Well, they're gonna run it through the system. If the 2 last names don't match, first of all, that's 1 red stripe. Then they have a system. Say little Pookie Jenkins is on Medicaid or something with a different address on it, or he's on somebody else's food stamp case with their address on it, and it's not my address. That's another red strike. I mean, another strike, whatever. Then they have their system so smart now they actually can put your name in and run all your immediate dependents or family members. And if this person, family members don't match your automatic audit, straight from I'm talking about they send it straight from the computer. A person is not auditing you; the computer is.
It's an algorithm.
And so it's telling you, hey, prove this dependent before we send your money. If you ain't prove the dependent, I ain't sending your money, and you owe us a penalty for filing fraudulently. Then the state start following suit, like, oh, we gonna do the same thing then. We ain't gonna send your money till you send proof of these job related, because with the state, they don't give you any extra money for having dependents, so that doesn't bother the state. But the only thing that they are bothered with when you have write-offs and stuff, because that helps you get more back from state, but you can write off your job related expenses that you can't write off anymore, and stuff like that. And so they would want you to prove your expenses, or then they start sending out a letter saying prove your identity. If you don't send this stuff in, we're not gonna send your money. But most people be scared to respond to those letters. Oh, I'm in trouble. I'm getting audited. Read the doggone letter and see. Shut up. Read the letter. Give me the letter. Let me read it so I can go on and tell you what to say. Yeah, dog. I had one of my clients, bless her heart. She had just filled out FAFSA for her daughter, right? She got a letter or whatever in the mail from the Internal Revenue Service, which is the IRS. Oh, she sent her daughter in. My mom was upset. She's saying she's being audited, and she told me to bring this letter to you. I read the letter. The first little sentence says, if you filled out for FAFSA, you don't have to respond. If you did not, please call this number.
It's basically saying
I said, put your mom on the phone. Put your mom on the phone right now. Put your mom on the phone. I said, ain't you a teacher? Did you mean to tell me you a teacher and you did not read the letter? I just saw IRS and got scared. Man, sit down somewhere. But it's crazy.
The IRS it's not a branch of the government though, right?
It's just
a separate entity. So it's not even like it's like just a federal service. It's federal service they use to So But it's a separate. It's like a business in a sense, though.
Right. It's a separate entity. It's like, say for instance, I'm a business owner, right, and I hire them to keep my books and records and make sure my money is taken care of. Yeah. They're my accountant.
They're like Raytheon or
they're an
like,
accountant of the government. They're their accountant, basically. For example, like say the mall. I use this example all the time. If I want to sell T-shirts in the mall, I got to pay my booth rent. If my booth rent is $1,000 a month, I'm either gonna pay $12,000 up front, $1,000 a month, or $12,000 at the end of the year. But I'm gonna pay the booth rent no matter what. And so taxes, if you're making a certain amount of money, you got to pay a certain percent, whether you're doing it on your check to check or at the end of the year or whatever. And so the IRS are the ones that actually just keep up with the booth rent, basically, for the government. You know what I'm saying?
Make sure you pay your.
To make sure you're paying your booth rent. If you want to work in the United States, you got to pay your booth rent, which is taxes, basically. And so that's pretty much what the IRS do. But they do a lot of fraudulent stuff, too. They got sued by the government 3-4 years ago for over $1.something million because they were doing some things that they shouldn't have been doing. One of my clients got caught up with it. Can't say nobody's name. But anyway, she came in. Another tax preparer here, Meridian, had did her taxes previously before she got to me and put some stuff on her taxes that should not have been on her taxes. So she got audited, had to pay the money back. So the next year when I did her taxes, they took that part that she owed out of her tax money to pay that debt off, and she got the rest of her refund. Because I didn't know she owed until after it happened. I'm like, why your check short? What we got going on? And she's like, oh, yeah, I knew I owed them, blah, blah, blah. So messed up my taxes. People always say they messed up you let them put it on there. But anyway. And so then the next year I did her taxes, her tax check was short again. I said, why your check short? Now, I know I don't mess around like that. Now, what we got going on? And so she was like, I don't know. I said, well, we finna call them. You know, because I already got paid. Yeah. It ain't really my business whether or not your check, but I care though.
You said you're doing this for,
I care though. Yeah. So we called or whatever. She got on the phone with them. And they were saying that she owed some money from whatever year. She was like, oh, okay then. I said, give me the phone. Give me the phone. I got on acting like I was her. I said, can you tell me exactly what year you're talking about? And what was the amount again? Didn't you take this out last year? Let us put you on hold for about 5 to 7 minutes. They came back. Come to find out, they had took the money out again that they had already taken out. They had to send her money back. But had I not called, they would have took it, and she wouldn't have said anything because it's the IRS.
No, she would have said something. She would have said, Carla messed up my tax.
No, because she was thinking that she still owed them something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, I guess I'm supposed to pay. I guess I must have owed them something.
Before you said she got back a little bit, she didn't get if she owed something, they would have took everything.
Because even with them taking the money out of her taxes that they took out of her money or whatever, she still got back more than she did the prior year anyway because Carla did her taxes. And so she wasn't really missing too much, but still it was her money though.
If it's something missing, it's something missing.
Because what bothers me a lot of times, I'm not knocking no tax professionals, nothing like that. I kind of am knocking them, but shade, no. Not all of them though. Some of them actually do try to better themselves with the knowledge and the laws and stuff like that, but a lot of them don't because we get paid the same. Well, we're supposed to get paid the same thing no matter how much you get back, right? But you have some of them have the mindset of, well, you should be happy with whatever you get back because it's free money. No, this is the money I work for. Right. Like I work for this money all year. You better get my money. You better give me. And so our job is supposed to be to help you get back what you're supposed to get back legally. I said legally, you know, the right way, because it's a right way and wrong way to do everything. And my thing, if you do it right the first time, you ain't got to worry about going back, getting in trouble and stuff like that. But everybody's not like that. People get charged $1 million to get their stuff done the wrong way. And I have to come back and fix it.
That's yeah. That's what my cousin, she told me. She said, would you rather get charged $200 now or $20,000 later? Like, which one would you rather get?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah, pretty much, man. I'm telling you, it's something else. Because I'm a, you know, I can actually represent anybody, but I did their taxes or not. So I can call the IRS and check on a lot of stuff for people. So from now on, people come before they get messed up. But, you know, I've been having to fix a lot of issues that other people have been doing. So it's.
So I'm gonna ask you from a perspective of a single person with no kids. How bad is this change going to affect them? Because like for me, for instance, I already don't get nothing back. So I don't, you know, I really don't care about income tax either.
You should.
You know what I'm saying? Because I already don't.
But Corey, the only reason you don't get anything back is I don't do your taxes yet. So
Wait, he ain't here. You say it again.
I said the only reason you don't get anything back because I don't do your taxes yet, and I did say yet, but
I mean, I'll say I'll get anything, but I just don't get. It's not nothing. I just jump
and
for joy
that's your
about.
fault because
You know,
I don't do your taxes because you should. If you make money and you paying taxes in, you're supposed to get most of that money back. Legally is what you're supposed to do. There's ways you're supposed to legally get that money back. Legally. So, but anyway, to answer your question, since I already hit the plug, let me answer the question real quick. What I would do, this is what I told a lot of people in the workshop, because for one, with you, all the stuff that you do on the side, like you supposed to be getting back a crap load of money. You personally, because you do a lot of DJing on the side, you do a lot of promotion, you do a lot of. No, but that's good though. But that's good though.
Exactly.
You're supposed to, because if you, the money that you make doing that does not supersede the money that it costs you to do that. A lot of gas, because also with that you have car insurance because you have to have car insurance to operate your vehicle. That car insurance, you probably cell phone bill if you got AT&T, it's $1 million. So that. You have to have internet at home. You got to have cable at home because you have to have the weather channel and travel channel. It ain't your fault. HBO come with it. all of those things. Even when you take vacations and go different places, you gonna tell somebody you Cory Moe? Shoot.
Yes, I will.
And so you pursuing a profit. That's a business trip now. It's not a vacation. You can write that off too. So that's your fault that I didn't do your taxes and you didn't hardly get anything back. But we'll talk about that off air.
Or you didn't go to any of the workshops.
Yeah.
There's
no excuse.
These past 2 weekends, last weekend I was in Atlanta. And this week I was on the coast.
There's
so
no
I've
excuse.
been moving around.
There's no excuse. You used to live across the street. From me. There's no excuse. But anyway, but for now though, since the changes have taken place, and you can't write out business related expenses, my suggestion to everybody is whatever you spend the most money on, turn that into some type of business. For example, say most of your money is spent on food, right? You spend most of your money on food. Not you personally, but I'm just saying, like, say somebody. If their money is spent on food, all their money goes to food, like my husband. But like, say for instance, that's what you spend most of your money on, right? My suggestion would be, get a business started that's called, maybe Carla's Kitchen, right? And your what your business is, like you cook sometimes, you sell plates every now and then, whatever. So now when you go to Olive Garden, that little money that you spend at Olive Garden becomes a write-off now because you have to make sure that your Alfredo sauce tastes better than Olive Garden Alfredo sauce because now you taste test and now you testing out your opponent, your opposition, you know what I'm saying? And so then when you go to the grocery store, you have to get different foods because you have a kitchen now that you're doing business from. When you go to Atlanta, you go to Six Flags, you go to different places like that or whatever, you have to taste the competition when you're there. That's a business trip now. That's not a vacation. I have to go to Jamaica because I have to see how curry chicken's supposed to taste like so I can make it in my kitchen.
Let's turn this off because she telling too much. They're going to change the rules by the time we get this.
They didn't already change them. Cory, I ain't lying. I promise you, Cory, I'm not lying. If you had come to my workshop last year and then look at all the changes that have been made this year, you'd have thought somebody had told them something I said out of my meeting last year. They have made so many different changes. I promise you, I ain't lying. That we were saying do last year that you can't do this year now. It's okay. We shift for next year. When I move, you move. Just like that. And
All right,
it is what it is.
Now, one thing that scares a lot of people is you say start a business. Somebody might be thinking, I don't have $10,000 to start a business.
Right.
$50.
Right. It doesn't. So, start a business doesn't mean you have to get a location and you got to get employees and you got to do all these different things like that. It takes every bit of maybe 5 minutes to go online and get an EIN number set up.
Yeah, $50.
Well, the EIN number is actually free.
Oh,
LOC is $50.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But it doesn't take much to start a business at all. And the rule is you don't necessarily have to make a profit, but you have to pursue a profit. And so me having Carla's Kitchen, even though I ain't really sold too much or whatever because I'm too busy because I got another job that I'm doing, I don't have time to really work it. But I'm pursuing a profit when I go to Olive Garden because I'm trying to make sure my competition is straight.
And if I tell somebody about it, I'm marketing. So
I'm marketing
there's
too.
a chance that they could buy that plate.
I'm pursuing a profit.
Okay.
You following what I'm saying?
And now that I do have this business that I say $50 for the LLC or just the EIN number. I do have this business now. Everything that I do, I need to find a way to tie it into this business.
Into my business. So what I would do once I get my business EIN number, I would then take that and then go to open up a business account, checking account. And everything I spend on like food and Olive Garden stuff, it will go through that business checking account now. Because everything I'm spending it for my business now. And since I couldn't write those things off job-related wise, I can write them off business-wise. Follow what I'm saying?
You got to switch the game to how they play it. Basically.
That's how they've been playing it. That's why, Mr. Orange Hair, he can start a business and then declare bankruptcy and start a whole nother one.
And then it won't affect him personally.
And it won't affect him personally because he has it separated. He has corporations. So,
now,
do it all the time.
Now, personally, you do, like you say you do business consulting, right? How do they get in touch with you?
Good question. They don't know. So my secretaries, they normally set up the appointments, but they can either call the office 601-453-5427 or email to set up an appointment tba-taxgroup@gmail.com. Or hit me up on Facebook. It's a whole bunch of different ways to get in touch with me. But
and you don't just do it for people in Mississippi, like you said you did
everywhere.
Something for Corpus Christi.
Everywhere. I have clients that come from everywhere. They actually fly in to get their taxes done from all over. Virgin Islands. I have people drive from Texas, fly from California, from all over the place. I'm gonna need you to do so much fun, Cory. And
I had this conversation with him every week.
Get off the phone. Put it on the floor. I said, get off the phone. Get off the table. Thank you. Put a napkin up on the phone. This is disruptive. Did y'all hear me? Because do I need to repeat it?
One more time.
I didn't hear you, so go ahead.
Good grief. But anyway, no, I do it from all over. Clients come from all over, not just for taxes, but for pretty much everything. I go everywhere.
So if I wanted to start a business and I needed your services, do I need $10,000 to come to you?
Absolutely not.
Okay, what kind of package? You have packages, of course.
I do have packages, but as far as like the initial consultation is free. Like we're just having a conversation. I'm trying to help you figure out because my job, I don't really have to make money like that. But I know if it's going to take me a lot of time and effort and it's going to cost me money, then of course I'll charge. But like say for instance somebody comes to my office and they just need some guidance and some help, I won't charge them. I'm going to try to figure out the cheapest way for them to start a business.
Because in the long run, they're going to come back to you.
Even if they don't, I'm going to be blessed anyway because I'm helping somebody. My job is to help people, not to make money. I just happen to make money by helping people, but I've been sent to help people.
But in reality, though, I mean, I know loyalty is a big thing. So if you help me do this, if I start profiting, I want to come share this with you. So and then I might need your help on this. So now, it's a back and forth thing.
Right. I just like helping people, man. It's enough money for everybody. Yep. I even helped tax. I remember one year, I invited a whole bunch of tax people from Meridian and Philadelphia, Newton, all over the place, to come to Faces at the time to do to put on the presentation for them to show them what we could do for our clients and stuff. Not calling any names out whatsoever. There were a lot of people in the room that did not know what I was talking about. And I was like,
and they were tax people?
Wow, you did my taxes. Before I started doing this, you don't know what I'm talking about? And so it was very eye-opening. Very, very eye-opening.
I mean, ignorance is something that I think exists in every entity. Because, like, us as DJs, we might have another DJ that come here, like, you don't know what a BPM is? Like, that's cool. Like, you know what I mean? But I think it's kind of like some people just, you take them at their word and not really knowing that.
And that's cool. I get it. Everybody's ignorant in something. But willful ignorance is what I have a problem with.
Right.
I have a strong problem with that. You cannot tell me that you are a professional in this particular, whatever you want to call it, but then you're not doing everything you can to be perfect at it. But you want to get paid for perfection, though. Yeah. That's crazy to me.
And that's something I see all the time too.
And I don't like that.
I don't think anybody I think that takes something serious and actually do the due diligence and figure things out should be rewarded for their work.
Right.
And then some people that's not, they shouldn't be rewarded. But in this day and time, it does not work that way.
And then speaking of reward,
case in point, President of the United States.
Oh my goodness, Father, don't do it. Father, don't do it. But another thing too, like a lot of people, the IRS told me on 3 different occasions, my clients tell me whatever, I don't charge people enough for what I do. But I don't believe in charging people $1 million to do their taxes, though. That's your money. I'm not gonna call anybody names out, but some businesses on
Look at that list.
tax. I said, but I always say, but I ain't gonna call anybody out, but blah blah blah. But anyway, there are some tax businesses in Meridian. I'm not gonna say the locations because y'all know who I'm talking about. Now it's several of them up 8th Street though. But anyway, they're new up and coming businesses that not the ones that have been there for a while. That have gotten in trouble with the IRS too because they there's a group of ladies that work there. I'll say that a lot of my clients have had issues with. That when they go there to get an estimate done, their stuff got filed anyway, and they were charged $700 for their stuff to be done, and it was done incorrectly, and they still do not have their tax money right now. And so I'm bringing that up to say this: when you go get an estimate, please don't give them your real information. Don't give them your real social. Don't give them your children's real information just to get an estimate. They can use generic numbers to give you an estimate, because if you do that and give them your real, they can still run it. And you be messed up.
Is your information how much you made now?
My social is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's my social. Put that in and give me an estimate. That's it. My name is Jane Doe. Give me an estimate of how much you can get me back.
This is what I made. This is what they took. This is what I did. This is what I did.
Yeah, because starting somebody 5, 6, 7, 8. That's too much money. And then on top of that, you're not even giving them back the most that they could even get back. That's crazy to me. That's even if I'm getting $10,000 back, you gonna charge me $500 to get $10,000 back? That's my $500. I need all my money. Why would you charge me that much money and it took you 20 minutes to do it? That's crazy to me, man. It just do something to my soul. I just can't stand see people getting taken advantage of. That's crazy.
So is there a way to spot a good tax preparer?
Yeah, she's on TBA. She's at TBA in the Acme Plaza, 721 Front Street Extension, Suite 760, Meridian, Mississippi 39301. But no, ask questions. First of all, get educated yourself, and then ask questions. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm not the person, because I can't do everybody's taxes, I would love to, but it's realistically I can't. It's not healthy for me. But ask questions though. Don't stop just signing off on stuff that you don't even know what it is. Get them to explain it to you. That's why it takes so long for me to get to do people's taxes, because I tell them, I teach them when I'm doing it. I ask questions. I get all in your business. Well, what you plan on doing? Well, what you want to be when you grow up? Let's take some of this money and do this. Well, how much did you spend on that? Really? Oh, okay. Well, won't we do this different next time? Because I want people to know they always have options. You're never stuck in whatever situation you think you're stuck in. You always got options, man. I'm talking about my head ain't big for nothing. It's a whole bunch of resources up here. And if I don't know it, I can find somebody that do know it. So that was y'all missed it. Y'all supposed to say, girl, your head ain't that big.
Oh.
I thought it.
I thought, it was in there.
My hair is big.
I was letting you continue your thought.
But my head is not big.
I did not see I just see the big hair. Yeah, definitely.
My hair is big today. Thank you.
Yeah, what you said.
Mr. Q, but it's all right.
You want to get this information out there, right?
Yep.
In the best way you possibly can. You want as many people to hear it as you possibly can. What other ways you think that you could go about doing it?
I'm actually going to have a webinar for a lot of my clients that are out of state. And that'll be coming up next, but I don't even have a lot of time to get it out. I have a short amount of time to get it out, but I have so many other things I'm doing. I'm actually opening up another office in Corpus Christi this year, and so I'll be back and forth doing that. I'm not even going to have time to do another workshop.
I just want to say something.
Yes.
I got an idea for you. We'll talk about it after.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, then. All right. And then, honestly, legally, because of my profession, I can't do it in certain ways. I can't give the information out. Certain types of ways I can't do it. It has to be information purposes only, except for if it's like a one-on-one that I'm doing with a client. I can be like, I can just go all in.
Yeah.
But like as far as broadcasting, like just blasting all the information out, I have to be real careful with that. Otherwise, I can get in trouble for it. So.
What's the? I mean, what like?
Well,
can you, be more specific on.
I can't make suggestions. Like I can't say, well, you should do this on your taxes. You should do that on your taxes. I can't do that legally.
But you can inform them.
I can tell you what the rules are. I can tell you what the rules are, and then you can figure out whether or not you. Yeah. Now, if I represent you and you're my client, and we got all the paperwork together, whatever, power of attorney, sign all that, then I could say all day, Cory, you need to do this. That's not right. We need to do this way because you're losing money this way. Because now you're paying me for my services. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends. Wow. So I just have to be careful.
And that falls under that umbrella of the business consulting. Okay.
Yep. I just have to be real careful. I almost got in trouble one year the Department of Revenue started coming after me, and went to one of my clients, or several of my clients, trying to bully them and say, "Oh, I must be doing something wrong. They getting the state checks are too big," and it was crazy. He was bullying a lot of people, and had the nerve to say, "Well, she's telling people," because I guess he was on my Facebook page, and I posted where I was having a workshop, and I had said specifically on my page stuff that you can do, like you can, if you got child support, you can, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And he was saying, "Oh, she's not supposed to be able to do that. She's telling people how to, save on their taxes." He was like, "Is that illegal? What's wrong with that?" And so, because the way the Department of Revenue, I ain't saying Mississippi broke, but the way the Department of Revenue, when you have auditors and stuff like, even the IRS,
I think that goes without saying.
When they come after people and they audit people, they actually make a commission off of what they find. So they won't.
So they incentivize people's penalties.
I've even had
crazy.
someone tell me that works for the IRS. He or she is an IRS auditor. They may have for 30 days. They're supposed to pick everybody that has farming on their taxes and try to find things wrong with them. And then the next month they may have an assignment to find as many people that have this on their taxes and find stuff wrong with them. And they actually get a commission off of how much they can collect from them. Like, say, for instance, if you put farming on your taxes and you can't prove it and you have to pay all this money back, they get a commission off of what they can make you pay back. And so that's my point is, you want to do it the right way first, up front, so you don't even have to worry about that. Yeah. It's nothing wrong with getting audited. I tell anybody, it's nothing wrong with being audited as long as you got your stuff together.
That's what I always like. What's crazy about what you're saying is, it seems like the moral thing to do would be like, if you see somebody's doing something wrong, help them fix it.
Yep.
And in the long run, you're still going to make money off them because they fixed their problem, not penalize them and run them out of business. Now you just got somebody else that's going to be dependent on the government once again.
Yeah.
You know
but that's what
sense.
people in my profession are for, though. It's not the IRS job. It's to tell the businesses, hey, you're supposed to do it this way, that way. Because when you're doing business, you're supposed to know that already. Otherwise, you're not, because you're supposed to study these things before you get started. Yeah. Nike did. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like all these other big
laws on Nike was probably coming up.
But you know what I'm saying? Like different the big businesses, they have lawyers that they hire to make sure all the stuff they're doing everything legit or whatever. So when we start businesses, we need to do the same thing. And so when you have professionals that are in my profession that don't know the laws themselves, and they just trying to help you get a whole, taxes, big check back or whatever, so they can get more money out of your check, that's crazy to me. Yeah. And then you don't want to get in trouble for it because you signed off on it. Yeah. They don't get in trouble for it, you do. They got their little money. Now you don't, because you got to prove all this or whatever. So the thing with me, I don't get paid till you get paid. I think everybody should be set up that way.
Yeah.
I don't get paid until you get paid. I'll fight tooth and nail for you to get your little check so I can get my check the next day. Yeah. But most people, they get their money up front. Whether you get yours or not, hey, you can't get them on the phone no more. So, hey, It's on you. It's crazy. Don't get me started because I start calling names. But no, I won't do that. I won't do that. I'm not gonna be petty Betty today.
I know one thing you did. One thing you showed that's available on the IRS website is that was the tax calculator.
The W-4 calculator.
Yeah. Tell people about that.
All right. So if you don't know what a W-4 form is, it's the form you filled out when you first get hired on your job. Where, like it says, put one for yourself, one if you're married, one for, how many dependents you have, blah, blah, blah. And it tells them how much to take out federal taxes on you, whatever, right? And so with all the changes, they're suggesting that everybody goes to irs.gov and then type in W-4 calculator and put all your information in up to date. And so you can see if you need changes to be made to your W-4 form or not.
So it means I'm taking out more.
Because what I'll ask you, if you're filing yourself, if you're a dependent, if you have a spouse, if you have dependents, how much have you made? How much do you anticipate making by the end of the year? How much taxes have been taken out of your check already on your last check stub? If you got different expenses, and it'll actually tell you roughly about how much you're supposed to pay in taxes, and if you need to make changes to your W-4, it even gives suggestions on what to do to change your W-4 from this point forward. It's a good tool to use, but I would still say consult your tax professional before you actually make the changes to your W-4 form, though. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
This has been enlightening as hell right
It was
Shouldn't be
more
that enlightening to you, Corey, had I been doing your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
You know, life goes on. We're going to get through it. We're going to make it happen.
I will say that last year you prepared my taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest tax check I seen. I came and showed everybody like, Carla did my taxes. Look, Carla did my taxes. Look, so if people I know don't come to you, they don't want that check. So that's all I'm saying.
Yep. I think the biggest tax check
Corey. I've been working since I was 16. I have never got back anything on.
And I've been doing taxes for almost 12 years now. So,
I think you did mine one year.
No, I've never done your taxes.
Not if you ain't go back. Cause you don't
I can't
back.
remember.
No,
I can't remember.
I've never done your taxes.
Yeah. You did my mom's though.
I did.
But one thing you did this week, you ran in with the paperwork. What did you do this week?
What paperwork?
You don't remember the paperwork you had this week? You like, I'm on it now.
Oh, I got that like about 2-3 months ago.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got that about 2-3 months ago. But
okay.
You know
do you have a bank account set up yet with it?
Not yet.
Need to.
How fast do I need to, like right now?
Yesterday.
Gotcha.
But I think the biggest tax check we gave away this year was $37,000.
Wow.
No, that wasn't.
That wasn't.
I was a little bit behind that one.
And that's what they legally were supposed to get back.
Yeah.
Every year it's like that. I think that's about the biggest one I normally give away every year, 37,000, whatever. But last year I had.
That person name?
No.
I need a whole little something. a mini Powerball.
Right. I think last year I had a group of people. They actually had a bet of who was going to get the biggest tax check last year, or whatever. It was so funny to me because the bet was only $100, and they were all getting $35,000 back. And they were like,
you think they would all put like $100 up, and then whoever get the pot?
No, it was like whoever, like the bet was, and then so they had to give this person $100 because he had the biggest tax check. I'm like, you just got $37,000. Why does it even matter about Say that's all right, man.
It was the money. It was the competition.
It was but those are the clients that they did everything I told them to do throughout the whole year. W-4 form wise, keeping up with all their receipts, and just doing everything I told them to do throughout the whole year, and they benefited from it.
Wow,
they do. I have clients that actually listen, which is amazing. It makes my job fulfilling.
Well, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it does.
I guess I just never look forward to an income tax. I never did just think about that notion like I would actually get money back.
You're not supposed to. I never did the taxes. Yeah.
I remember one year I had to pay back. That was when I was 16, so mama claimed me. And like the taxes I made from me working, she paid it back. She paid it back. I ain't paid.
But you were 16. You were 16. You wouldn't have even had to file taxes then. You were 16. You didn't even have to file it then.
$10.
You wouldn't have even had to file it then.
Wow.
That's crazy. You just gave $10 away for no reason.
My mom paid $10. I didn't pay $10.
Yeah, but you gotta know the rules. If you don't know the rules, you'll do anything.
That's crazy. Well, let me see, y'all. Let me see what else we got. I know a couple of minds are kind of going crazy right now.
I apologize.
You've seen how this probably affect a lot of people.
Everybody.
Right now. Yeah. Let me see.
Wheels get
so we get to thank the whole Trump administration for this tax bill, right, that they passed.
That's not what I said.
Who created this tax bill?
That's the question you're supposed to lead with. Where did this tax bill come from?
Yeah. I don't know whose name is on it. I don't know.
You don't know who
I didn't
created
create
the tax
it.
bill?
I didn't create it. I don't know.
Because I could have swore this guy was bragging about his tax bill a couple of months ago.
I don't watch TV. I'm not sure.
Wow. Well, I was saying that to say this. This is the reason why people need to go vote.
That's true.
Because if the other party weren't controlling this and that, this stuff would be, I wouldn't say it wouldn't go through, but it'll be probably cut down to a lot of stuff. It'll be cut out and, cut away from the, Because I heard even they even make tax cuts people paying for jet fuel. Is that true?
They make who?
They was giving tax cuts people to pay for jet fuel.
Oh yeah, look, let me tell you something.
Yeah, so you get the jet fuel, you get tax cuts.
Now the benefits are going to be in real estate. They even they haven't passed yet. It's in the process of being passed. They have something going on where if you own property in certain areas, the money you make off of that property, you don't have to pay taxes on it at all. That's real estate. Who's in real estate, guys? Your president is. And so it's a lot of breaks for people. Yeah.
It's coinky dink.
Another really good thing that I think is really good is that they've raised the amount that you can actually claim your taxes for cash contributions, like cash donations, to 60% instead of 50%.
But that's because people
is going to give 60% of their money to
that's
to
what
charity.
I'm saying. Like that's why.
And so how that benefits them. Say for instance, he or she makes $100 million, but they have it through their business, but they pay themselves a salary of $100,000. If they donate $60,000 of that $100,000 to charity, they get to write that whole $60,000 off.
And they say they made $40,000 now.
And pay taxes on $40,000 when they just made $100 million.
And they made the rest of it. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's the tax bill that's going to help everybody get more money back.
That's what they call the trickle-down effect?
He
That's
was
what they call it?
He was not talking to us.
The trickle-down effect? Reaganomics?
Pretty
that
much.
We already showed didn't work?
Pretty much.
That's probably who was president.
Probably.
Reagan.
I would not be surprised.
That's what it was.
Somebody need to Google that real quick. Because I'm interested in seeing who was here in 31 years ago.
But they already proved that doesn't work.
Nope.
And you still have people in that preaching it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Joe, I think the biggest surplus of money ever over a president was Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
So
Depending.
we should be talking
No, well, let me take that back. Depending on what industry you were in.
Yeah.
Because you had some industries that suffered during that administration, though, that don't actually value
That's what the NAFTA, though. That's when that act was put into the when it was about the steel works and all that right there, because they was shipping in steel from like China and stuff. That hurt that industry. I think
it hurt a lot. It hurt a couple of big industries that people don't really know about. So, but it helped us though.
Yeah.
I would say, and the reason why we always say Bill Clinton, but they say, oh, they hate Bill Clinton because we were the ones that were benefiting from it.
But it also built a surplus.
It did.
Within an economy, that's like they ain't
in
gonna
our
change
economy,
that much.
not their economy.
You know what I'm saying? But but then here come my boy old.
If it doesn't work for me, it sucks. But if it works for me, it's good.
But if
that's how you
here
look
come
at
good old George, and he just took that surplus and just demolished it and dug a ditch, which the black guy had to come fill back up somewhat. He finally got it to a certain place, and then this orange guy comes in here and takes the like I did this to the economy.
Of course,
you know what I mean. Like,
well,
it's crazy how it works.
I do taxes. I don't do politics, and I'm colorblind. Thank goodness.
Politics ain't nothing but money. That's all it is. So you do politics. It's all about money now.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Now look, one more time. Give everybody your information if they need a tax preparer, a car, headlight fixed, or whatever.
Right.
All the shit you know somebody.
We probably do that too. I don't know. We probably do.
She's like,
and then
like.
also, I wanted to give a couple shout outs real quick. Charlie's Market. I'm telling you, yes.
I gotta try this.
On Poplar Springs Drive, my goodness, I'm not saying I don't even make a penny from even promoting them like this. I promise I don't. I swear, one shrimp, you can only get one shrimp in my hand. The shrimp is huge. Like the prices are. Y'all better hurry and go get it before the prices change. Because I'm changing them prices. Yeah, I don't eat shrimp, but everybody else does. I don't eat meat. Period. Yeah. But they cut the steaks in front of you. This is not what we're here for.
You might want to switch me to vegan right now.
Anyway, let's just get your taxes done first. Anyway,
baby steps.
So we'll come back with a vegan conversation.
They're on Pop Spring Drive, but they're a really good family from Louisiana. But they have a really good heart. And they could, what they're selling, they could charge so much more money, but they're not, because they're not trying to make a whole bunch of money off of, people or whatever. But the prices are really, really good, but the food is really good. Oh, my goodness.
Crawfish.
They have crawfish.
They have crawfish.
They have
I'm sorry.
crab, shrimp.
Crab legs.
They have all of that. I'm talking about huge.
Yeah, alligator.
And then also,
frog legs.
You have.
I was in there. Oh, wait. Footnote. She talked about it yesterday in the seminar. Had you been there? She talked about it yesterday in the seminar, and she was like, "Yeah, I consult them, so we're gonna go over the prices." So I got on over there. Good prices, good food, and I have.
He can't eat shellfish in this.
But
up in the crowd.
Hey. Seafood
sausage, though.
Oh no, I got the shrimp. Not supposed to eat the shrimp. Oh yes, I got the shrimp. My face will probably be sweating up later on this week. But
oh my goodness,
you sold the shrimp to me, so I had to try.
I'm telling you, it's awesome.
I got it. Okay, and it's right up the street, so I got it.
Y'all better hurry up, because I promise I'm changing them prices as soon as I get a chance to. Because they need to make a little bit more profit than they make. Yep. And then also, we have Mac Enterprises LLC.
Okay.
Which is my husband's company. He does a lot of HVAC and stuff like that. So always affordable air. is what the name of his business is, because he's really good in like HVAC and electrical, plumbing, just you name it, he does it or whatever. So
also, I need an electrician. I could have called you.
you surely could have.
Wow.
But with TBA, the Boston Agency, we do so much. But
So she do everything.
Yeah.
Everybody been to TBA,
everything,
she got everything.
everything. Also, I help people get houses too. I forgot to mention that part. Help people get houses. They have a lot of different programs. Like say for somebody that's on like Section 8, they have programs to kind of help people transition from having a HUD rental voucher to having a HUD mortgage voucher. And they'll actually help them get off Section 8 and buy a home, and HUD still assists with the mortgage.
Wow.
There's so many different programs for low income people to get houses, because like you say, you got somebody make $14,000-$15,000 a year, they probably think they can never get a house. As long as you make under $37,000 and your credit score is I think a 600 or higher, Citizens National Bank will actually help you get a house. But if it's 580 or higher, then the other company can too. And then I have another company, don't even look at credit score. They even help you with, they help people get houses. But anyway,
You help sell houses?
I might get into doing that. There is TBA Properties LLC now, so I might. I did start that one too. But anyway,
hold on, I gotta tell this before I get out. Before you get up out of here. So I'm at home.
Here we go.
Well, I'm pulling up at home. I see a U-Haul truck. I'm like, where's this U-Haul truck coming from? Where's this? What's going on? I say, why is there a U-Haul truck at your house? I said, well, I've been moved out. I'm like, you ain't tell me. You can't leave me here now.
Like, dog, you ain't say bye. Nothing.
This ain't nothing. Ain't Cory, I'm out of here.
I'm not gonna say bye. I'm gonna say see you later. That's what I'm saying. But to answer your question, you asked me 10 minutes ago, casual. The Boston Agency, either 601-453-5427 is TBA tax group number. 601-453-2098 is for the car lot. And then you can email us at tbataxgroup@gmail.com. We're on Facebook as TBA The Boston Agency on Facebook, or Carla Boston on Facebook. And then you also have Carla at tba.com. You can email us there too. I think that's about it. So many different ways. I'm not gonna get my cell phone number out, but some people call my cell phone. That doesn't work though. But be better off emailing me. But that's pretty much different ways you can get in touch with me.
Okay, cool. Now, like that last thing you touched on with getting people off of HUD and living in a house to owning your own home, like that's major. It's major. People don't even think about it, but when you have people that's renting, right? Say for instance, you've been renting an apartment, say for $500, we'll say $1,000, just round numbers, $1,000 a month, right? You're renting a house or an apartment, $1,000 a month, right? That's $12,000 a year, right? In 5 years, that's $60,000, right? In 5 years. In 5 years, you pay $60,000 towards this home, right? Now, if you would have had a house and you're paying $1,000 a month on a house, because if you're paying $1,000 a month and it's a house, the house is most likely going to be worth roughly about $250,000 for a mortgage of $1,000, right? So you got $250,000 house, you're paying $1,000 a month for it, right? For 6 years. For 5 years at $60,000, right? Say some life happens in 5 years and you need some extra money.
Refinance, baby.
All you have to do is pull. You don't even have to refinance it. You could do an equity loan and pull equity out of your house, because you got $60,000 worth of equity in your house that you can just pull from. And it's your money. It's your house. It's your money. It's money that you've already put up, period. Because when you're buying a home, you're actually investing in something. But when you're renting from somebody else, you just throw money away. And so it's better to own your own. It's better to own your own house. It's better to own your own business. It's better to own your own everything. Because if you're going to work hard anyway, no knock to the radio station, knocking. If you're going to work hard anyway, you might as well work hard for yourself. Might as well. If I'm going to do it anyway, might as well do it for myself. So that's
so much knowledge, so much hair.
Thank you.
Reach out to Mrs.
You laughing too hard.
Carla Carter, TBA. She's here to help. She's not trying to break your bank. She's here to help. Seminars left and right, webinars coming up. Get in contact with her.
Yep.
Take the knowledge to your tax professional. Say, hey, she told me this. Why you didn't do this? I mean, so
no, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't tell them that.
That's if they consult you.
Right.
But we do appreciate you coming in. You got anything else for? You got anything else you want to share?
Oh, that's it.
Pretty good. My rest of my conversation gonna happen off.
Right. I can tell you, I can see your eyes. Yeah. I enjoyed it though.
You can charge him extra now since he should have been there.
Right. No, I enjoyed it. I appreciate you inviting me out.
We appreciate you coming by. Like I said, I came to the workshops. I'm like, we gotta give more people this knowledge that you're just giving away. And it's always good to see somebody say, "Hey, I know this. I want to tell you." And another thing you said on yesterday was like, we've always been taught, go to school, get a good job. Why do that when you can have your own business? I almost, like one little tear, I had to suck it up. I was sitting in the front like, don't let us see you cry. But yeah, we do appreciate you stopping by. And of course, we're professionals. Podcast is What Do We Know? Click the link, like, share, all that stuff, all that good stuff. We're professionals.
Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and also SoundCloud and YouTube.
And with us being the professionals that we all always like to end the program by
Got to
saying,
think big.